All right, and I believe that we're live. I hope that if there's somebody actually like watching this somewhere, that they let us know if they can't hear something. And I'm gonna flip that over here, and I'm gonna bring up the video of us so far. So I'm already getting a fair amount of feedback from people saying that you know that they like the work that we've put into this so far. I think it's going to be a pretty unique event tomorrow, and it's going to be pretty exciting for anybody who has not yet seen the website. Let me bring that up real quick. Hey, Nate.
Hey. So Karen, on slide number 5, there is a link to the advanced one.
Okay.
Okay. And if you go to that one, you can open the beginner one too. There's a link back to the beginner one. I think the beginner link is way at the end of the slide, but you can get there from the 5th slide.
So a more complete, is that Select Star SQL, is that the advanced one?
No, Select Star SQL is an exterior program, an exterior place to learn SQL.
So
do the HTTP mysterynightlab.com.
okay.
And it will bring you to the advanced, which then we can click on the link to the regular one, and I will make sure to add it in tonight.
Okay,
Right.
so here I am, but I still don't see how to get to the SQL. It may
So
say.
if you're on the advanced one,
Mm-hmm.
hold on, it's got to load on my screen because I got to tell you how far down it is.
SQL.js. Okay, here we go. I'll click on that. And I come to cripkin.sql.js.
I don't know where you're at. Let me share my screen. If it's okay with you, Jim?
Absolutely. So you're basically giving a little preview taste of your workshop tomorrow. So
Let's see.
So this is part of the SQL murder mystery.
I think this is the right screen. Do you guys see it now?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So under this, we're on the experienced one.
Mm-hmm.
And under this, it says new to SQL, try the walkthrough.
Right.
So click on the walkthrough.
I just want to download the database. I've been through the walkthrough 20 times.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to download SQLite first. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm going to do it on the web with people. I'm not going to have them download the database.
All right. So how do I do it on the web? That's my question.
So, did you click on the? Let me go back. So, did you click on the try the walkthrough? It's under the picture. It says
I clicked on it 20 times, Marie.
Okay. So if we go to that screen, and there's a lot of definitions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the walkthrough. They set up the query to get started. They set up the questions. You hit run. Sorry, my system is being very slow. It doesn't like to share screens.
First, you have to be in the database, right?
No, you don't. Not on the web version.
Okay, well, how do I get to the web version?
She's showing that right here. It looks like this actually runs right from clicking the button on the web page.
So we're here. You just scroll down through, and it literally defines things, and then you get to one of these little queries and you hit run, and it gives you the answer to that query. And when you're done running, when you got that answer, reset. And as I said, my computer's being very slow, and it will close it.
Is this me or you? Okay, let me see.
Okay, and then so we're going to work our way down through all the queries and talk about the logic to get the final answer.
All right. Okay.
So does that help?
No.
Okay, then we can talk offline.
All right.
I don't know. Do you want to stay on after tonight, or do you want to do it like early tomorrow morning?
Whichever's easier for you. It doesn't matter to me. I'm usually up at 6.
Okay, so then why don't we do it like 7:15?
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Great.
Well,
Thanks,
so,
Karen.
thank you. Yeah, I think that's okay. We'll see.
I'll go to have donuts.
No, you should bring them to me.
Is this you or me? I can't tell. Did you stop sharing your screen?
I stopped sharing my screen.
Okay, so this is me. Close
Yep.
that. Close. So I do database. I did database. Add a database. I put SQL. I put all that in there.
You need to share your screen because I have no clue what you're doing. Make sure that, remember we're streaming, so make sure that
Okay.
all your personal stuff is hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize. Should have said a little bit sooner. We are effectively being recorded, so.
Where am I? Share my screen.
Looks like we've got a couple of people watching on LinkedIn, Adam St. Hilaire and Cameron. I met Adam a few years ago on Facebook. I think he lives, if I recall, out in Portsmouth, and happened to be running a coder group on Facebook, and we started chatting there. Has been, I believe, coming to code camps for a couple of years now, and Cameron is one of our presenters.
Ah. Hi, Michael and Nathan.
Howdy.
Hello.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty
Thanks.
good. All right, let's see. Is my camera on yet?
There you are.
Okay, great.
Just a reminder, we're streaming out to LinkedIn and other media, so it's effectively being recorded. So.
All right,
That's
sounds good. I just have a quick question before I present tomorrow. So will the screen share functionality be given to the speakers? Like, how will it tell apart the speaker from someone else coming to the presentation?
This is half the fun of code camp. Actually, when it comes down to it, basically we're trusting the audience to be professionals, and you will be able to start the screen share pretty much the same way everybody else will, but that also provides an opportunity to have a little bit of a deeper discussion with the audience and that sort of thing. We're definitely encouraging people to keep their cameras and microphones turned off for most of the time. I mean, light it up when you need to ask a question. There's a raise the hand feature that allows you to click a button to kind of get attention if you feel like you need it. And we're encouraging attendees to take advantage of that and be recognized by the speaker before piping up. But other than that, it's an open room, relatively speaking, and a little bit different in that there's a little bit more shareability and stuff like that going on, but we're definitely trying to avoid.
I have the Teams app open on my computer, but are the rooms supposed to be showing right now? Because I'm not even sure how to get into the room that I'll be presenting in, because it has your team's Granite State Code Camp, Capture the Flag, Code Camp Lodge, Event Support, Partner Exhibit Hall, Presentation Hall, and then GSCC Speakers General. I don't see the individual. Am I supposed to see those rooms now so that I can go into the correct one, or
if you so actually here, let me do this. I'll share. I'm getting a little bit of echo there somehow. I'm not sure what that's from. So I'm going to share Teams here real quick. And what you just described sounds like basically like this right here.
Yeah, that's exactly. Those are the tabs I see. Now I'm just trying to figure out from there how to get to the room that I'll present in.
Okay, so the room that you're presenting in is in the presentation hall.
Okay.
And if you look in here, you've got all of the rooms that coincide to the town names that are on the website.
I see.
So one of the other things is if you're on the website and you log in using the credentials that you use to log into this, it lights up the names of the towns. So here, let me show that off real quick.
Okay.
So here I am on the venue page right here, and this basically shows during the day tomorrow this is going to keep normal time, and this will update with what's going on in these places at that time. Right now, every 10 seconds it's just cycling through a random time, but I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now that I've logged in, these room names light up, so you can actually click these room names and it will actually take you right into the presentation room.
I see, got it. And it'll connect through Teams so that it'll then show up there on my main screen.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
And that follows true for the full schedule here too, because I'm logged in. All of these room names here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So all of these room names that show up by the speakers here. If I click this, it will actually take you right into the meeting that we called Concord.
I see. Okay, so then go through on that calendar, click the room that I need to present in, and then from there I'll be able to click screen share and then present to everybody that's in there.
Yep. And actually that is literally a link directly to these meetings. So you can also come in here into the presentation hall and click on a meeting and jump right in that way too if you want to. It's the same exact thing.
Got it.
And so we also have a similar thing with our partners, the sponsors of the event. These are the folks that basically took care of the bill for the gifts that we're going to be giving away or have given away for speakers and stuff like that. And you'll be able to go in and visit these folks. Things to look out for. At the tops of these channels in here are, sometimes these little tabs. Like on this case, this is, showing the event sponsors. If you go into the Code Camp Lodge, actually we can let Karen tell a little bit about some of these here in just a minute. But in addition to the digital trading post, we also have a bunch of really nice little Construct 2 games here that you can kind of play with.
That's not Construct 2. That's a Code Spark game.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains the funny look that Jen Looper gave me when I mentioned that we had one of her games in Code Camp. So.
Yeah, Yeah. Yeah, she emailed me with permission to use it.
Oh, okay. But this is one of your originals right here.
This is one of my originals, yes. That was her game.
Gotcha. So yeah, can you hear the pings?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is actually really cool. So I'm probably gonna miss this. See
Yeah,
if
you gotta be fast.
So you're playing Pac-Man?
Hey, John. There we go. Got it just in time.
You tried the Pioneers in Computing game.
The Pioneer, that's actually tougher. I really have a hard time with that one.
Did you get them?
Well, yeah, I did. I kind of, get bits and pieces here and there. Like, all right. Actually, I
No.
think
She's 50s. Okay.
I'm not sure.
I got a rhetorical question. Why do people who write documentation never actually test it on real life production problems?
That's just, you can, just leave that.
So listen to this. I got the Databricks page on Unzip, okay, says that the example they show is that they read all the files into memory. Okay, that's fine. The only problem is I got a 30 gigabyte zip file on my Databricks cluster. Okay, that's compressed at probably about 10%. So when I expand it, it's 300 gigabytes. Okay, it is a cluster. It does have a lot of power, but it doesn't have that much power.
Oh. Like that was a little hard, I admit. I can give you a hint. Thursday is the first server.
All right, I'll try that again another time. But thank you. Those games are awesome, Karen. John, I don't know if you could see it, but
yeah, I saw you clicking on it. Cool.
So this is just to warn you to. Oh, hey, Andreas. To warn you, we're streaming out to LinkedIn and YouTube, so it is effectively being recorded. So there's evidence. So yeah.
Well, Databricks, we love you. Okay, your documentation's awesome. Okay. But from this work, sorry, it does suck. Please fix that, retract that one. If you want me to write that section, I do write for a living once in a while. I'll do it.
Sorry, man. Should have warned you earlier.
Should have said, "Hey, man."
So, Andreas, how you doing?
All right, that's why I'm here.
Exhausted, been chasing down a squirrel or cat or whatever, herding cat, and got my mortgage selection finalized almost. Needed to deposit money for the house, needed to schedule the move out of the other house. I was just busy with stuff.
All right, don't forget we're being recorded, so.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say what the mortgage is or where I'm moving to, and yeah.
Just making sure.
Talk about anything embarrassing.
I just switched over to together mode here.
Crack all those POTUS jokes, but I'll reserve those during another time. Don't want to affect the right wing people.
No, it's actually it's what I'm telling people though. Let's kind of keep the politics out of Code Camp here.
Let me then change my background.
But yeah. So we're definitely we're missing people here. I'm in together mode, and some people's cameras aren't on, I guess. So.
Mary Patrick is. Oh,
Marie is missing, and I see Karen, but Karen is kind of fading into her background. Oh, there's Marie. Hey, it's like magic. There's John. Yep. So it was really cool to see a little bit of press for the Code Camp. The news is picking up a little bit here and there, and I do think that this is it's a good time to be a coder right now in general, just because there's a lot of a lot of us are kind of used to working remotely and working from home and all that stuff. The big change for me during the COVID, social distancing and all that stuff is now I actually have to share my cave with my wife and kids. So before that I, was able to, just kind of exist down here by myself, and most people didn't know, and it's probably fine that I don't have any windows, but so the other thing that's happening right now is lots of companies are going like full remote, full time, and we're seeing interesting trends like their pay scales are going national instead of staying regional the way they have been. So in theory, there are some companies that you can go and work for where they are offering effectively their New York or San Francisco level pay scale, even if you have a cost of living that looks like a New Hampshire or New England cost of living, except for Boston.
Let's go really cheap. Let's say Mississippi, Alabama.
Yeah, that's potential too.
Because New England is not cheap. I mean,
well,
not cheap at all.
if you think Boston is New England, then it's not cheap. But I do occasionally admit that Boston's part of the greater New Hampshire area. But
yeah, Boston's
Why wouldn't you?
Oh, New Hampshire's not cheap anymore either.
It's getting there. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Property values are definitely going up and all that, but still not quite.
But it's kind of debatable what is the right approach. Like, do you reward people by that way who live in cheaper areas and punish people who live in expensive areas? If we do this way, or do we do it wrong the other way? I mean, one aspect is, of course, the same quality or type or amount of labor should maybe get the same compensation. The other thing is like, okay, what about the people who are where they are? Like, they're kind of screwed then. Get outcompeted by other people, right? So I don't know. It's twofold, the topic thing.
Yeah.
That's the way the government does it. They have pay rates, then they have a basic pay rate. Like if you're a GSA, have a basic pay rate. Then you have regional differences depending on cost of living, based on cost of living.
Yeah, like a lot of companies, I mean, for some Silicon Valley companies who effectively did not have a remote presence before, some of them tried to push the other way. They tried to introduce the same system, like to pay kind of based on cost of living. I mean, but even the Silicon Valley companies, sometimes they gave like a core valley bonus or something, or cost of living adjustment compared to live without funds. I don't know.
Yeah, but
see, about it, but it doesn't affect.
See, I was gonna say, Andreas, the thing about it is that you're maybe relatively mobile compared to some of us. It's like I've been in New Hampshire my whole professional career, and I know that one of the problems that I have is that I can't seem to escape the gravitational pull of the event horizon that is Massachusetts. So it's one of those.
Do you want to? We can make it happen.
Yeah. Well, in the sense that I get to work from home, I sort of have avoided it, but the sense that I went for years like taking jobs in New Hampshire, and only to a few months after starting them having them move to Massachusetts. I'd take the job in New Hampshire and they'd be like, oh yeah, we're moving the office down to Littleton, or we're moving the office down to Burlington, or, that kind of stuff.
You can't complain about the hour and a half or 2 hour drive. I mean, I was going up to Burlington from Providence. That's a long haul.
Oh yeah. Yep. So, it is a long haul. And that's the thing. It's like, there's a lot of great reasons to be up here. The cost of living isn't quite what it is in Boston, that's for sure. So that's a bonus. And we've got in this one state We've got beaches, mountains, lakes.
Electricity.
Oh yeah, we've got electricity, and we've got bandwidth.
Dentistry.
And seriously, when all of that stuff fails, we still have the Boston Express bus. So, so
and your and sometimes your neighbors like they let you leave Canada if you really want to.
I'm so close to New Hampshire. It's almost. I actually work for a town in New Hampshire.
Okay.
I'm about 3 miles from New Hampshire.
Yep.
So.
And they probably in Massachusetts. Well, even though you work in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, I'm sure makes you pay income tax and all that fun stuff. So.
Yes, that's why I'm an employee.
Yep.
Not a contractor. So, because they take all that out for me now, it makes it easier.
Yep.
Yeah, Mass loves me. I paid Mass taxes, but live in Rhode Island.
Yep. It's a pain. That's one thing that I do appreciate about working remotely is that, if you're in Massachusetts less than half the time, then you don't have to worry about it. But
actually, Mass taxes is 0.5% less than Rhode Island.
Well, it is. I forget what the percentage in Massachusetts is, but whatever that percentage is, it is that much more than New Hampshire. So
Jim Wilcox is talking communications about his tax rate.
Well, it's not exactly
information anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not exactly private.
It is private how much you spend where. So.
Yep. Well, I'm talking about income tax percentage as a statewide thing. So yeah, but so yeah, I was hoping we'd get some of our speakers to come on, and I'm glad to see we've got as many as we do. Maybe we could kind of take turns and have some of the speakers. Past few weeks, we've had myself and Joe has talked a little bit about his thing, and Nate's talked a little bit about his. We've talked a good amount about Capture the Flag, and if you haven't jumped in on Capture the Flag, at least to do like the intro challenge or something, just for the fun of it, just to say you're on the board, go ahead and do it because it's fun.
I have to complain. You didn't have any data science questions, okay? It was really
seriously
the geeks that were code.
Contribute one.
We're taking submissions, John.
Yeah, contribute one. We'll take a contribution.
Yeah.
I got enough on my plans.
He's like, don't jump me. Don't jump me.
Yeah, I'm like, you know how it is. That's the problem, man.
Yep.
You have Granite State Data Science Camp. Got it.
But next year, if you want some, some data science questions, I can definitely give you some easy ones.
No, cool.
You have something with drop database.
There's 2 questions on SQL mystery.
Yeah, there's a little bit relationship there. A little bit.
Yeah. So like I say, definitely get in on that. Take a look around the website. There's a lot of people asking questions about how to get in, and I did show the website a little bit earlier in the recording here. So if you didn't catch it, back up and take a look at logging into the website and then using the links that pop up. They light up in the schedule that you can then join the sessions from. But so maybe we can, like I say, kind of go around and have folks tell us about their session. And Mike, you've been presenting at Granite State Code Camp for a few years now. I know it's been at least 2, maybe all 3 at this point. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're presenting tomorrow? Just a little teaser of it.
Sure. So I'll be talking about Python virtual environments, and there are multiple ways to create a Python virtual environment. The most common way and the official way is the venv command, venv, which is included with Python 3. Prior to Python 3, there was mk virtual env, a tool that came with virtual env wrapper. I'm just doing the quick summary because I'm going to slow everything down into the full session, but I'm quickly summarizing up the commands. So I'm going to talk about the then command and the mkvirtualenv command and how you can create a virtual environment. And one of the reasons you want to create a virtual environment in Python is because different projects have different Python dependencies. So you might have a Python library called requests, and this project may require request to have version 1, and this other project you have also on your computer may require request to have version 2. So in order to have both projects working, but not like step on each other's toes, is essentially you create a virtual environment, and then you install all your Python dependencies into that specific virtual environment. Therefore, whenever you want to switch to another project that has a different set of dependencies, you can just leave your current virtual environment and switch into your second virtual environment, and now you can easily have multiple projects on your computer, multiple Python projects, using a different set of Python dependencies installed, and they won't be stepping on each other's toes because each virtual environment will partition out all the dependencies so that you have this set of dependencies for project A and this completely different set of dependencies for project B. And it's okay if the dependencies don't match, or even Python versions, because you're using a different virtual environment for each one. So sometimes you may have, oh, this project is built using Python 3.7, but the latest Python is like 3.9. And what if you need like each project has to have like its specific version of Python installed in order to work? Well, when you create your virtual environment, you can specify which version of Python to use. And for instance, you can say Python 3.7-m then, and then the name of your virtual environment. And then you've created a virtual environment with that version of Python, and that's where you can install that set of dependencies.
Awesome.
So what's the difference between that and using Conda to just create an environment?
So Conda is a different way. I'm not going to cover that in my presentation, but there's also Pip Env, Conda, and like several other tools for creating virtual environments. Technically, you only really need like the then command, the venv. That's the official Python way of creating a virtual environment from like Python 3 on. And of course, there are other tools available, such as Conda, Pip Env, and like a few others. But essentially, I'm just going to cover two tools, and no matter which version of Python you have, one of these tools will work on your version. So for Python 3 and up, there's the then command, and that's the like official way, and you can like install all your dependencies into a Python virtual environment created with that. Or if for some reason you still have an older project that needs Python 2, then you can use the mkvirtualenv command with virtual env wrapper and install your Python dependencies into that. So basically, these two different ones that I'm covering, it'll work for any version of Python, depending on which one you need to use. You'll have one of them that you can use. Then for Python 3 and up, or mkvirtualenv for Python 2, or it'll also work for Python 3 if you prefer using that as well. It never got deprecated, so you can technically still use mkvirtualenv wrapper in Python 3 and use the mkvirtualenv command to create your virtual environment like that. And I'm going to basically live demo, go right into the console, be like, okay, right now I'm going to create a virtual environment. Okay, here's a Requirements.Txt file, which basically defines a list of Python dependencies that your project has. So now we can do like Pip Install -r Requirements.Txt, and now it's going to run like the install, and it's going to install all those dependencies into the Python virtual environment that you just created, allowing you to now use that project. Now, the Requirements.Txt file is just one way of keeping track of all your Python dependencies. You can also use a Setup.py file, and to install dependencies directly from a Setup.py file, you can just do Python Setup.py install or Setup.py develop, but there's also a few other ways of doing it. So for instance, if I do a screen share, actually I'm not going to do that now. You just do pip install -e dot. I can do a screen share later if you want to see it, but basically with pip install -e dot, when you run that command in a folder where you have a setup.py file, it's going to go into that file and parse out the Python dependencies, and it's going to install all those into the virtual environment that you have set up. Now, if you're not using a virtual environment, that means you're installing dependencies directly on the machine itself, which means that if you have multiple projects on that machine and they have different dependencies, they're going to run into conflicts because they're all using the same like virtual environment, which is a non-virtual environment, which is the machine itself. And
Yeah.
that can be very bad because as soon as you have a second project with a different set of dependencies and you install the requirements for that, and then you go back to your first project, the first project won't work anymore because, oh, hey, we required this specific version of requests or URL lib 3 installed, and you just installed a completely different version. So the alternative to using Python virtual environments is not using a Python virtual environment at all and just installing dependencies right onto the machine itself. And that's where you'll run into problems as soon as you have two different projects that don't have that do not have a matching set of
That's
dependencies.
what you call living dangerously.
Exactly. Some of you may have done that, like, oh, I only have one Python project that I ever use. Okay,
Yep.
who needs the virtual environment? I'll
It
just
works great
install
until you
everything.
run into the second project. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you only ever deal with one Python project ever, don't have to worry. Just like forget the virtual environments, install all the dependencies right on the machine itself, and don't worry at all. But as soon as you have a second project that may have contradictory requirements, that's when all hell breaks loose. And like, okay, now if you want to switch back to project one, then you have to reinstall those dependencies again, because when you install the dependencies for the second project, you might have possibly overridden the dependency requirements that you had installed the first time.
Gotcha. Awesome. So that's definitely it's a very popular topic. A lot of people are dealing with Python nowadays, and I have absolutely run into that problem myself. Of course, under the circumstances, I ended up using Anaconda, but it would definitely be very cool to come to your session and understand the different, get a grip on the difference between Anaconda and VENV, and or is that how you pronounce it, Venv?
Yeah, Vend. I guess they just call it Vend. Or if I just spell it out, VENV.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's with Python 3, and that's the official way of doing it.
Yep.
So I'm going to focus on that one. But for people who still have a Python 2 dependency for one of their projects, there's the mk virtual env command, which comes with virtual env wrapper, which is the official way back before Python 3 was a thing. I don't know if you use that. You do just mk virtual env. The names
Is that
are
right, Will Smith, the rapper?
Is that what I sound like?
No, I get the it's all the acronyms and stuff like that. It's I understand. I mean, not the acronyms, the initials.
There's going to be a lot of initials because some of these I don't know how to properly pronounce, like Vend or VenV, I don't know, ENV, whatever. But I just be VNV after saying it, and then and I'll have it written out because it'll be on a slide. And it'll be okay, here's how you run this command. It's Python -m env, and then your folder for your virtual environment and all that.
So TLA is only an SSE could love.
So I have it I won't just say it. It'll be written down, and I'm going to live demo it. I'm just going to go in, if I'm doing a full screen share, I'll go right into a command prompt and be okay, I'm going to type this command. Okay, you can see now in parentheses the name of your virtual environment, showing that you're now in your virtual environment. So now you can go to a Requirements.Txt file and just pip install that, or from a Setup.py file. And now you've got your dependencies. And now let's switch out of that virtual environment because we have a second Python project with a different set of dependencies, and now we can install that as well.
Very cool. All right, thank you.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
my
fun.
solution-
It'll be high energy, that's for sure.
I was gonna say my solution to that and be an MVP and having unlimited credits is just create an VM and install it. So I just don't have enough time usually.
Show off.
No, you understand that? Hey, time is money, man.
Yep, I hear you. I hear you. So John, what are you up to? So for folks at home.
I'll talk last. I'm trying to set up my environment.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I'll bring you up. Okay, I'll bring you up later. John and I work together at Watertown, though I haven't actually seen him in person for like months now. So but all right. So Andreas, you're doing something with HoloLens or is it HoloLens? Is that what I remember seeing on the?
Well, HoloLens is a vehicle that I use for what I'm building up. So what it's about is trying to use some democratized AI technologies, mostly from cognitive services and vision-based services, like custom vision, computer vision, and maybe a little bit video analyzer to gain understanding about the environment, right? So we're using computer vision to look at basically what images the camera sees, and we'll train a model then that's specific to say computer vision is a service of Microsoft that has baked in some understanding of what environment is. So it can know what a dog looks like, knows what a table is, and so on. But it's very generic, and you need to be online to use, right? Then there's another service called Custom Vision that you can specifically train with a small number of example images, typically like 15 per thing you want to recognize, to then do custom image recognition or object detection on those things. But so what I want to solve is to be able to walk around in a real environment without needing the cloud connection and maybe recognize a few things in there. So we're using the camera of the HoloLens, recording a video, passing that video, sending those frames to computer vision, getting information, what is recognized, looking at what have we seen often enough, then uploading those things to custom vision to automatically train a custom model that's specific for that environment, the typical lighting conditions, that's a typical camera of the device sees, and then train that model, download it to HoloLens and walk around, and then as you walk around, it's able to recognize in space, hey, I see this object right here, you basically see the visual ray, what it's pointing at in space. And then as you walk around, over time, you could basically tag your real environment by things you have seen. So that's it. That's our idea. It's a lot of individual components that play together, but it's kind of a little bit of a story what you can do if you use it through AI technologies together.
Awesome. Sounds like it's going to be a fun session.
I hope so. If my computer doesn't overheat like it just did before here.
Oh no.
There was a gun for a second because it was shutting down on me. So I will probably pre-record a few things and make sure that things don't move. Like demos at least.
All right, so John, I'm going to come back and pick on you again because I mean we do have other speakers in here. We've kind of done our session shtick a few times over the past couple of weeks.
Hey, no worries. So it's been a Power BI theme week. So today I spoke at Azure Data Fest in Reston, Virginia. It was virtual, and I talked about how to extend Power BI with Python. So it's pretty cool. You can do a bunch of different visuals using that. I find it as a niche use case because sometimes there's not out-of-the-box visual. There's not a custom visual, but you can actually use code for this. So we had one client that actually had something called a sucker pump, which is an oil well, and they were actually pulling back up and down. And what they had is they had a plot of it. It's a waveform, and they couldn't visualize it, right? So we just use a scatter graph and visualize it. It was really easy. But you can save that as a image file, and what you can do is you can now use machine learning, okay, to match that up, okay? And so we knew like a certain image that was like this way skewed maybe would be, hey, guess what? You got a seal on the lower arm broken. And this way, guess what? You got a seal on the upper arm. So on. This, you know, so it was like 15 different use cases, and it was just a, you know, a binary. It was a multi-classification problem, right? So you just took the image and you matched it up. So that's a great example of how you can use this. The second thing tomorrow I'm going to be talking about is just Power BI Desktop Designer. So it's one of those skunkworks tools in which if you don't have anything else and you're a really small company, you have some data, you can pull it into Power BI and do a lot of things. And I'll just be talking about how to pull data in. The reason why I'm frustrated right now is because I'm using the Northwind database, and so it's so freaking old. I need to go back and actually do this. It actually only works with 32-bit, and I have to actually get the, you know, the runtime engine. I'm like pulling my hairs out. I'm like, why didn't I just do this in SQL? It would have been so easy because I have SQL installed already. So yeah, so maybe I'll wake up early in the morning. I'm a little tired right now. I just don't feel like doing it, so I'll stop early and do it.
Sounds
So
good.
that's what I'll be talking about tomorrow. I shouldn't have used access. I knew the A word was a bad word.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's my experience. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you. So yeah, we have a really full schedule for tomorrow. I mean, honestly, I don't think we've ever attempted this many sessions before. And so what we ended up doing was setting up you know, basically 9 different tracks. So at every different session, every attendee is going to have to pick. Whoops.
Oops.
All right, who's got two browsers open or two connections here? Marie, you had a question? I see your hand is up.
Well, actually, it was Nate who created like two things. I'm having a problem with my camera on one computer. I seem to be like frozen. Is that true? Are other people seeing me as frozen?
I don't see you at all right now, but
Right. Okay. Even better. Okay. I'm working it out. Bye.
okay, it could be a bandwidth issue, maybe. That's one reason why we're encouraging attendees tomorrow to keep their camera off. I mean, we're overloading the bandwidth, doing as many people on video as we are for, if any of us have low bandwidth, it'll probably, impact a few of us. So, but during the presentation tomorrow, we're encouraging people to turn off video for the sake of everybody else, unless they are asking a question. Then they're invited to turn on the camera and be present and stuff like that. But so Marie, you had a question?
No, in the chat, for those who have access to it and are interested, I uploaded the list of the New England states from the most expensive to the least expensive, and their number is on the left side as far as where they stand in the statistics. And Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire are all in the top 10 of cost of living.
Ah.
Where did you put that?
I put the link in the chat.
Did you forget to hit send?
Hold on, let me double check. I thought I hit it, but maybe I missed it.
The meeting chat or the?
In the meeting chat,
Yeah,
because
let's
it's
see.
not really important to anybody, anything else. Yeah, I hit send. It's just my computer being obnoxiously slow. Sorry, guys.
Ah. All right, so it'll pop up eventually.
There it is. Oh, it's an Excel sheet. Ooh.
There we are.
Yeah, for 5 states, but
It's a fish. It's a fish. Don't click it.
traditionally, New England is considered very expensive. Hold on, I want to look at the spreadsheet, see where Alaska stands.
But you just gave us the copy of those things.
But I just put the New England states in.
Are
So,
you putting some realtor magic here?
say that again?
Is it some realtor database magic?
She's like,
I
she
downloaded
can.
it from, no, it's not from a realtor database. I downloaded it from one of the government sites
Ooh.
for 2020.
Yes.
So, yeah. Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Hampshire, and
So you gotta
No,
go to Maine then.
Alaska is less expensive than those 3 states to live in. So,
Maine has
all the heating we have to do.
Yep. So, gotta live up in Maine like Bob.
yeah, in Alaska they don't use heating, they just all the bears.
No, they just go outside and set a fire. That's it.
Yeah.
Get a lot of wood.
Yeah.
Chop a tree, start a fire.
Climb inside the tauntaun, you know.
You know how warm a tauntaun is, right?
Hmm.
You could say maybe make an igloo, but you know, with global warming, this makes you jokes.
So you never heard that one? That tauntaun. It's no, that wasn't what I was gonna say.
What's the sound the tauntaun makes? Is
I'm
it
not sure.
similar?
Tauntaun's lukewarm.
Not. That's fake news, dude.
Yeah, well, it's old news actually, but so yeah, we really tried to make this event, you know, feel like an in-person event, you know, from the merch store to things like the capture the flag and encouraging people to communicate with each other through chat channels, and the lodge that Joe is hosting, and really gonna, you know, say thank you to the sponsors, you know, Pulsar Security and Atom Group and Insight Digital Innovation, and you know, the organizers. You know, I still, you know, think the contributions that you know, like Joe brought with the Spreadshirt thing, and that Bob brought with Capture the Flag, and
Capture flag was cool. I just wish I had time for it.
yeah,
I answered like 4 or 5 of them, and after I was like, okay, I just don't have enough brain power. I got too much work to do. Now,
Yeah.
what did you get for shirts, Jim? I mean, I was looking at it, and I haven't ordered yet because I was so, you know.
Yep.
Oh, you made your own then?
Yeah. So I got this one, and I also got a polo. I'll be wearing that tomorrow. So, and I got an Insight one, and you know, I got this too. So
Hold it up a little higher.
there you go. So had to get one of those, and I got the kids' shirts too. So had to make sure that we had a good sampling of them. So you know, make sure it was.
I like the nerd one, which they had scientists like magic. At least Donald Trump says it. But
All right. No politics. No politics.
We're done.
You scared me, John.
I'm just tired of listening to all the crap. I just want to get over it, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's funny.
With that said, guess what? I actually tried my own desktop instead of virtual machine, and I had it already set up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm falling tonight, man. So I'm checking out. Have a nice night.
All right. Actually, it's about that time, so I think, you know, unless anybody else got anything else they want to pop in with, thanks, man.
I quick comment for Karen. I sent you a chat message.
Oh no!
So,
What are these pictures?
just to Karen.
I don't know if I don't quite understand the context of these images, Andreas, but
Magic.
oh, it's the Magic. Okay, is that on the Match game? Looks like the Match game. But anyway, that's awesome.
Well, the other one with the little devil is Does anybody remember the name of that one from the 70s?
Oh, you're not talking about Press Your Luck with the
Press Your Luck,
whammy.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm going to be saying all day tomorrow. No whammies, no whammies. All right. Thank you all for coming. And like I said, unless somebody else has any parting thoughts or anything.
I just have one question for you, Jim.
Oh, okay.
So I've got one more capture the flag challenge.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe it'd be better to drop it tonight so that people would have some of a chance to do it without having to miss sessions. But what do you think? Should we save one for tomorrow, or?
It might be nice to drop another one tomorrow, but at the same time, do you think it's going to be a tough one, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Kinda.
Why not drop it tonight? Give people, at least a few hours to, lose sleep over it, and
All right.
So, I mean, it's up to you. I won't argue, but yeah, why not?
Okay, will do.
All right. Thanks again for coming, everybody, and can't wait to see everybody tomorrow. We'll catch you in the morning, 8 o'clock Eastern. Good night.
Good night.